I'm Faisal from Lahore, and today I'm sharing the most painful chapter of my life. My wife's secret lies shattered our 8-year marriage, leaving me broke, alone, and fighting for my kids. This is a story of love, betrayal, and survival. If you've ever been betrayed, you'll relate. Stick around, hit that like button, and let's dive into this emotional roller coaster together. My name is Faisal Khan, a 37-year-old from Lahore, and I'm here to tell you how my life turned upside down. Back in 2015, I was a starry-eyed 27-year-old, fresh out of Punjab University with a degree in business. That's where I met Aisha Malik, a quiet girl with a radiant smile, in our final year. We bonded over late-night study sessions at the campus canteen, sipping chai and dreaming of a future together. She loved poetry, I loved her laughter, and within a year, we were inseparable. By 2016, we got married in a small but joyful ceremony at Badshahi Mosque, surrounded by family and friends. My parents gifted us a modest flat in Gulberg, and Aisha's father gave us a small plot of land as a wedding gift. We had big dreams, starting a textile business, building a family, and traveling the world. Our first year was bliss. We'd spend evenings walking along the canal road, planning for kids and a bigger home. In 2017, our son Ali was born, and 2 years later, our daughter Noor arrived. I'd come home from long days at our shop to Aisha's cooking. Her biryani was my favorite, and we'd laugh as Ali smeared rice on his face. The business was growing. We hired 3 employees and even exported fabric to Dubai. I trusted Aisha completely. She handled our finances while I focused on sales. Life felt perfect, like a dream I never wanted to wake from. But little did I know, cracks were already forming beneath the surface, hidden in the lies I'd soon uncover. By 2021, 5 years into our marriage, I started noticing changes in Aisha. She'd always been cheerful, but now she seemed distant, often lost in her phone. She'd lock it with a new password, saying it was for security, and I didn't think much of it. Why would I? I trusted her. But her late-night, work calls became frequent. She'd say she was meeting suppliers for the business, but her excuses didn't add up. One evening, I found her pacing in the kitchen at 2 a.m., whispering on the phone, her voice tense. When I asked who it was, she snapped, "Just a client. Faisal, don't overthink." That was new. Aisha never snapped. I brushed it off, but the unease lingered. Then came the financial discrepancies. I'd check our business accounts and notice large withdrawals. 50,000 rupees here, 80,000 there, labeled as miscellaneous expenses. When I asked, she'd say it was for fabric samples or transport costs, but her answers were vague. I started feeling like a stranger in my own marriage. Our intimate moments dwindled. She'd turn away in bed, claiming exhaustion. I'd lie awake, wondering if I was failing as a husband. Was I working too hard? Was I not giving her enough attention? I tried to fix things, planned a family picnic to Liberty Market, bought her a gold bracelet for our anniversary, but her smiles felt forced. The kids noticed too. Ali once asked, "Why is Mama always sad?" I didn't have an answer. Something was wrong, and I was too naive to see the storm brewing. It was March 2023 when my world imploded. I'd been working late at the shop, finalizing a big order for a client in Faisalabad, when I came home exhausted. Aisha was asleep, or so I thought. I noticed her purse on the couch, and something compelled me to look inside while searching for the house keys. That's when I found it. A cheap burner phone I'd never seen before, hidden in a side pocket. My heart raced as I powered it on. No password, thank God. What I saw made my knees buckle. Hundreds of messages to a man named Cameron, filled with flirty emojis, late-night plans, and intimate details. "Can't wait to see you tonight," one read. Another said, "Faisal's so boring, I deserve this." There were hotel bookings in Islamabad, photos of them at a cafe in Defense, our anniversary spot, and voice notes of her laughing with him. I felt sick. Then I checked our bank statements on my laptop. Over 1.5 million rupees withdrawn in the past year, funneled to Cameron for trips, gifts, even a car. She'd been living a double life, funded by our hard-earned money. I sat on the floor, tears streaming, as Ali's toy car rolled by my foot. 8 years of love, trust, and dreams shattered by her lies. I couldn't breathe. How could the woman I loved betray me so deeply? The next morning, I couldn't hold it in. I waited until the kids were at school, then confronted Aisha in our living room. "Who's Cameron?" I asked, holding up the burner phone, my voice shaking with rage and hurt. Her face turned pale. She tried to snatch the phone, but I pulled back. "Don't lie to me, Aisha. I've seen everything." She broke down, sobbing. "It's not what you think, Faisal." But the evidence was undeniable. She admitted to the affair, saying it started a year ago with a friend she met at a business expo. "I felt trapped," she cried. "You were always working, never here for me." I shouted back. "So you steal from our business?" Lie to my face. "What about Ollie and Noor?" She had no answer, just more tears. I demanded she leave. She packed a bag and went to her mother's house in Faisalabad, taking the kids with her. I felt like I'd been stabbed in the heart. That night, I sat alone in our empty house, staring at our wedding photo on the wall, her smiling at me like I was her world. Now, it felt like a cruel joke. I called my brother, Omar, who rushed over and held me as I broke down. How could she do this? I kept asking. He didn't have answers, but his presence kept me from spiraling completely. The betrayal wasn't just emotional. It was financial, personal, and public. I didn't know how to face the world. A week later, Aisha's lawyer served me divorce papers. She demanded full custody of Ollie and Noor, half the business, and even our Gulberg flat, everything we'd built together. I was stunned. She'd already taken so much, and now she wanted more. I hired a lawyer, Mr. Saeed, a tough but fair man recommended by a friend. The court hearings were a nightmare. Aisha painted me as a neglectful husband, claiming I'd driven her away with my long work hours. Her lawyer showed photos of her with the kids, looking like the perfect mother, while I sat there, a broken man, trying to explain how she'd lied and cheated. The judge, a stern woman in her 50s, seemed skeptical of my claims at first. I felt powerless. The financial betrayal came up too. Mr. Saeed presented evidence of the 1.5 million rupees she'd siphoned, but her lawyer argued it was joint business funds she was entitled to. I watched Ollie and Noor in court, clinging to Aisha, confused and scared. Ollie once ran to me during a break, whispering, "Baba, when are we going home?" I hugged him, fighting tears, promising, "Soon, beta." But I didn't know if I could keep that promise. The business was crumbling. Clients pulled out after hearing about our drama, and I was drowning in debt from legal fees. I felt like I was losing everything, not just my marriage, but my kids and my livelihood too. By late 2023, I was a shell of myself. The court battles drained me. I'd lost 20 pounds, barely slept, and lived on instant noodles because I couldn't afford more. Our textile shop was on the brink of bankruptcy. I had to let go of 2 employees, and the guilt crushed me. I drive by our old house at night, now rented out to strangers, and sit in my car, staring at the window where Ollie used to wave at me. Social media made it worse. Aisha posted pictures with Cameron, laughing at fancy dinners, while I was struggling to pay bills. Mutual friends unfollowed me, some believing her narrative that I was the villain. I felt isolated, like the world had turned against me. One night, I sat on my balcony with a bottle of soda. I don't drink, but I was tempted to escape the pain somehow. I thought about giving up, letting her have it all, disappearing. But then I saw a photo of Ollie and Noor on my phone, smiling at a park we'd visited years ago. They were my reason to keep going. I couldn't let Aisha's lies take them away too. I cried myself to sleep that night, but it was a turning point. I knew I had to fight, not just for me, but for my kids. I couldn't let betrayal define my story. In January 2024, I decided to fight back with everything I had. My lawyer, Mr. Saeed, suggested hiring a forensic accountant to trace the money Aisha had taken. It cost me every penny I had left, but it was worth it. They found proof of her fraud. Bank transfers to Cameron's account, receipts for luxury trips to Dubai, even a car registered in his name, all paid with our business funds. We presented this in court, and the judge finally saw Aisha's true colors. Her story started unraveling. She couldn't explain the expenses, and her lawyer's excuses fell apart. The court awarded me partial custody, every other weekend with Ollie and Noor, and I kept 70% of the business, though I had to pay her a settlement of 5 lakh rupees. It was a small victory, but it felt like a lifeline. I started rebuilding, one step at a time. I moved into a tiny apartment in Model Town, sold some old equipment to pay off debts, and focused on saving the business. My brother Omar helped me set up an online store for our textiles, targeting small retailers. Slowly, orders trickled in. I'd work late, then spend my free time with the kids, taking them to mini golf or the zoo, trying to rebuild our bond. Aisha was still with Cameron, but I stopped checking her social media. It hurt too much. I was fighting for my future now, not my past. By mid-2024, I started seeing light at the end of the tunnel. The online store took off. We landed a big order from a retailer in Multan, and I hired back one of my old employees, Kareem, who'd stood by me through the chaos. Financially, I was stable enough to afford a better place, a small house in Johor town with a tiny garden for the kids to play in. Ollie and Noor became my strength. Ollie loved drawing, and Noor would sing nursery rhymes nonstop. I'd take them to Liberty Market on weekends, buying them ice cream and watching them laugh on the swings. Those moments healed me more than anything else. I started therapy too, recommended by a friend. It was hard at first, talking about the betrayal, but it helped me process the pain. I realized I'd ignored red flags in our marriage. Aisha's secrecy, her emotional distance, even her spending habits. I blamed myself for a long time, but therapy taught me I wasn't the cause of her lies. She made those choices. I also reconnected with old friends who'd drifted away. Some apologized for believing Aisha's side, and we rebuilt those bonds over chai at local dabas. I wasn't the same Faisal. I was more cautious, more protective of my peace, but I was standing taller, ready to face the world again. Now, in May 2025, I'm a different man. Aisha and I co-parent, but our interactions are cold, just logistics about the kids' schedules. She's still with Cameron, and I've heard through mutual friends that their relationship isn't as rosy as it looks online. I don't wish her ill. I just want her out of my life beyond what's necessary. The kids are thriving. Ali's in grade 2, and Noor started kindergarten. They ask about their mom sometimes, and I keep my answers neutral. I don't want them to carry my pain. The business is doing better than ever. We've expanded to export fabric to Sri Lanka, and I'm planning to open a small showroom next year. I've learned so much from this ordeal. Trust is precious, but blind trust is dangerous. Red flags like secretive behavior, unexplained expenses, and emotional withdrawal should never be ignored. I've also learned to value myself. I spent years building Aisha's dreams, neglecting my own. Now, I'm focusing on me, taking up jogging, reading books, even planning a solo trip to Hunza next year. Betrayal cuts deep, but it doesn't have to destroy you. I share this story to help others. Whether you're in a marriage or not, always protect your heart, but don't close it off completely. There's hope after heartbreak, and I'm living proof of that. Looking back, these past 2 years have been the hardest of my life, but they've also made me stronger. I'm not the naive Faisal who trusted blindly. I'm a father, a businessman, a survivor. Ollie and Noor are my world. Last week, Ollie drew a picture of us at the zoo, labeling it my happy family. That's what keeps me going. Aisha's lies took so much, my trust, my home, my sense of security, but they couldn't take my spirit. I've rebuilt my life, brick by brick, and I'm proud of how far I've come. If you're watching this and you've been betrayed, I want you to know you're not alone. It hurts, it's messy, but you can survive. Take it one day at a time. Find support, whether it's friends, family, or therapy, and don't be afraid to start over. I'm sharing this story to inspire you, to warn you about the red flags I missed, and to remind you that healing is possible. What's next for me? I'm focusing on my kids, my business, and maybe, one day, opening my heart again, but this time with my eyes wide open. I'd love to hear from you. Have you faced betrayal? What red flags did you miss? Drop "I survived" in the comments if you've been through this, or lessons learned if my story taught you something. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, and hit that subscribe button for more real-life stories. Let's support each other on this journey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.